Well, Gassem has confirmed the price of cement on the market would go down by between 3 and 5% from Tuesday. The price of cement on the local market had gone up steadily over the past few months, largely due to increase in the cost of production. A bag of cement, which was sold at 15 cedis in 2011, has seen a dramatic increase to almost 30 cedis following the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. The Corporate Affairs Director of Gassem, George Dawson Amoa, tells Joy Business all the cement manufacturers have agreed to publish the reduced retail prices.
The head of the European Union delegation to Ghana was on Thursday heckled of a public forum discussion, and it was discussing the controversial economic partnership agreement here in Accra. Well, this was after the coordinator of the Third World Network, Dr. Yao Graham, objected to his presence at the event. Dr. Yao Graham said he could not understand why Claude Martin was invited to make a presentation at the forum, which aimed to collate civil society views on the subject.
According to Yao Graham, the head of the EU delegation to Ghana, Claude Martin, was neither a Ghanaian nor a member of any civil society group, and as such was not welcome to make a presentation at the forum, especially when the matter bordered on the economic development of the country. He further argued that nowhere on the program lineup was it stated that Claude Martin would make a presentation. Other civil society groups at the forum supported his stance, refusing to budge until the European Union ambassador was present. Yao Graham described the presence of the EU head as an attempt to brainwash them.
The person who owes us an explanation day to day is the government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Trade and Industry and his officials. Claude Martin has an opinion, but he defends European interests, and the people who defend our interests are elected representatives. If they were having an EU consultation and me, a migrant on a visa, I turn up there, I don't have a stake in it. So we should be clear about the parameters, because we become so aid dependent that any time we want to sneeze, we think the donors should be present.
The impasse forced a temporary suspension of the program. Trade and Industry Minister Haruna Idrisu, who according to participants invited the EU head to the program without formally communicating to them, escorted Claude Martin out.
Well, traders and commuters at the Sinchi ferry site have demanded that a place of convenience be provided at the site so they no longer have to resort to open defecation. It, however, turns out a new public toilet, which has already been built, is right there, but under lock and key. Gifty Andoapia has the rest of the story.
Some people have eaten themselves around this area. It's mess, my dear. You can't smell, and then you can't even have a place to put your feet. They should come to our aid to give us a toilet, urinal, even a washing room, so that we can even get place to ease ourselves. And then even you can see that there's no shelves here, whereby we can sit and relax so that you attend to your attend, but none of it.
Toilet Inte he has a problem now about no basic toilets. Any baby a bedroom so. If you say a bed dear no bed 2 hours near a basket, no no ha cranny at to us baby I echo. Tis rabbi and say oh messy toilets. No one your baby I bet snare did and I says a can in your ready crabina baby at Nama a rianshi age in a real musa.
It was obvious from my conversations with commuters that they were ignorant of this facility. Undoubtedly, it will be of no use to them even if they knew, at least for now. Hundreds of people now moving in and out of this ferry site, and one after the other, they troop to this overgrown grass to ease themselves Unlike most of the commuters who are unaware there is a place of convenience, Daniel has been a salesman here since closure of the Adomi Bridge about a month ago and tells me what he knows.
They started immediately when the project has started, but as for now, I think they have already finished. But it remains the way to open it. If you want to go to private, you go to the top, but they did not finish. They are now building it, so they did not finish. So as they did not finish, the people used to go to toilet at the bush here. They used to go to toilet at the bush. So all the women and the men, they used to share the bush together.
Which one have you been using yourself?
I'm going to the bush as the same passengers who used to the bush.
Project manager at the Senchi Ferry site, Benjamin Kilson, admits the toilet facility constructed for the place is completed, but is clueless as to why it is not opened.
It has been a problem. We have the highway authority has finished with the construction of the toilet, but what the authority says is that they have handed over the keys to the district assembly to operate. So I find it difficult to understand why, as of now, they haven't opened to the public.
But
I don't know.
The place is done, but it's just that...
Complete.
Why is it still locked?
I don't know why. This is what I'm saying, that what I've been made to understand is this assembly is to operate the toilet. So I don't know what is keeping the whole thing late.
He said the use of mobile toilets proved ineffective given the number of people who were using it daily.
When we started, they were using this mobile toilet, which I don't think the volume of people who come here can use that.
On your part, what can you do to help?
I will contact head office to find out why the delay. Yes, so that if it is the district assembly who has to operate and they are not coming, they ask them to do it immediately.
District Chief Executive of the area, however, says the keys have not been handed over to the Sojamine District Assembly. On my left here is a place that has been used as toilet or place of convenience by passengers and traders alike. But right here on my right is a booming canteen, or if you like, a booming market. The smell can still reach me, although I am far off from where the bush is. Kipti Andopia, Joynews, Senchi Ferry site.
Well, has to remain along the Volta Lake banks as a 5-year-old on Thursday morning died along the banks of the Volta Lake, well, not too far from the Senchi Ferry site, and there's more in the next report.
Kofi's death threw the village of Akwemu Asafo into a state of shock and despair. His distraught father, Kwabna Mriku, said he left him with his friends briefly and was told about his death later.
Na me baby aba neja me de neja sisi na me abenu wie anye me fi wa me ba pa na papa yi me ba no ni mango no ofia za ore ko ka kire me se me ba no eku vinya be na eku a o ze me ba no eku a ma ba pa la vinya eku le fi le ohin fi ha eni sa ante me dade kura me kita kura me de ja papa eni sa me ba am pa we se me ba no da we what's one more Frabin or Brusu? Sahon, Sahon, and Watum.
Inspector Boating Tagbo of the Akonsombo Police Divisional Headquarters narrated what he knew to the news team.
He go inside the water to bath. This is what I was told. That there are 3 in numbers. So they went inside the water and bath. So the other small boy was not able to swim. So now I also called my commander and informed him what was happening. And then he told me that I should inform the parents. I should bring him to the police station to come and lodge the complaint at Akosombo police station. We are going to the police station to lodge the complaint. So now the body is lying down there. But I just called my commander, and the commander told me that you should let the parents to come to the police station to come and lodge the complaint.
As at 3 p.m. Thursday, his remains was yet to be transported to the mortuary. The two other children with whom he went swimming, I'm sure, must be traumatized by now. Details about his death is still unclear to us, but the police are, however, taking the necessary action to establish that. Kipti Andopia, Joynews, Akwemwasafo.
Well, to some other stories now. The Savannah Accelerated Development Authority has been ordered to retrieve almost 3 million Ghana cedis from 2 companies contracted to produce butternut squash for the European market. According to the auditors, the contract entered into with Plus One Investment Limited and Cocoa Bela Farms Limited is not financially viable. Manasseh Azore has the rest of the story.
In 2012, SADA paid Cocoa Bela Farms Limited over 38,000 Ghana cedis and more than 2,700,000 Ghana cedis to Plus One Investment Limited to undertake the production and export of butternut squash. Former SADA CEO Gilbert Sedu Idi says the project was meant to meet demands for the product in Europe.
The butternut is a new crop in high demand in Europe, very high demand in Europe. But unfortunately in Europe, during the winter, the weather is not suitable for its production. And the winter happens to be our dry season. So it gives us a winter window. When you're able to produce it, then you can take it to the European market. And because of that, the European market was very keen. In fact, they traveled all the way from Birmingham to come and see us and the work we are doing. And then from there, we're able to agree on orders. They wanted us to supply them 2 containers every week. But we didn't even have the capacity to be able to produce 2 containers every week. So they scaled it down to 1 container every week. So the market was there.
SADA explained that the 38,000 Ghana cedis paid to Cocoa Bela Farms was used to pilot the project. The 2.7 million Ghana cedis paid to Plus One Investment Limited was to be paid back within 5 years. Joynews visited one of the project locations at Yape in the northern region. This site is for Plus One Investment Limited, but we found only irrigation equipment and farm implements. There was no sign of human activity on the site, though we visited at the peak of the dry season when cultivation of the land was supposed to be taking place. When we were about to leave, we saw this man who said he was the security man at the site. He gave us information about beneficiaries of the project.
Na omunya start ya phone ejumadi so omunya maniwo but adon de omunya start here wonu shi bushumu ya na bushumu.
Mohammed Kofi Kabute, chairman of the farmers group in the area, said the company had stopped operation in the area for lack of funds.
This year, who's going to pay it? Nobody will sponsor them, no money. Who will sponsor the farmers to farm? No money. Said no money. SADA is not having money. Plus One too is not having money. The SADA will give Plus One money so that Plus One will do the work. No money. So that is there. So they said if the farmers want, they should farm. They will farm for them, give them seeds, but they will buy fuel for the machines, pumping machines, the pumping water for the machines. So when they call the farmers, nobody can afford the money. Because fuel, maybe if you are many people, maybe you can get money to buy tomatoes tomorrow, but if you don't give the thing to water always to, you won't get anything.
But the CEO of Plus One Investment Limited, Sadat Al-Hassan, told Joynews that the project at Yape stopped because of pests. He said the company last year exported butternut squash to Europe and is about to harvest its second. He said the company also paid about 64,000 Ghana cedis to SADA last year. This amount represents only 2% of the money it's supposed to repay to SADA in 5 years. The audit report says SADA failed to produce records on the number of tonnage of the butternut squash the company has harvested and exported and the sales made. It says the practice is a recipe for financial malfeasance and recommends therefore that the companies be made to refund the amounts granted to them with interest at the current commercial bank lending rate because the economic viability of the project could not be ascertained. For Joynews, Manasseh Azore reporting.
Well, to turn attention to some other news, and information gathered by Joynews indicates that the police have arrested officials of International Oil Exploration Formula Petroleum Limited accused of forging the signature of the Energy Minister. Personnel of the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service have been conducting searches at the offices and homes of the officials involved. Minister of Information and Media Relations Mahama Yariga confirmed the arrests of the officials to the news team. Investigation is currently underway, as he added, describing the arrest as an ordinary criminal case that would be dealt with in accordance with Ghana's criminal code. The firm allegedly forged the minister's signature to lay claim to a piece of oil-rich area offshore the south of Cape 3 Point in the western region. Mura Petroleum Limited is reported to have made an estimated $1.5 million using the forged letter as a basis to sell off majority stake in its oil-rich area to its parent company, Guandana Oil Corporation, based in Canada.
And we go to the courts now, and Accra High Court has adjourned to April 30 a ruling on a submission of no case filed by Alfred Agbesi Wa in a fraud case brought against him. The much-awaited ruling, which saw hundreds of supporters and sympathizers of Mr. Wa thronging in the court premises, was postponed after the judge announced his ruling had been delayed because he was indisposed for some time.
The trial judge, Justice John Ajet Nassam, told the court he could not complete writing his ruling on the matter due to an eye infection. The much anticipated ruling will either see Alfred Agbesi Wa walk free or be convicted once evidence is established against him in the case where he is said to have willfully defrauded the state to the tune of 51 million Ghana cedis. The latest turn of events has been prompted by a request from the defendant that the case be dismissed because the state has failed to prove the charges against him. The state, however, filed a response on March 28, 2014, arguing it has adduced enough evidence against the businessman. The Wa trial has been going on in court for about 2 years now, and counsel for the defendant, Musa Ahmed, said it was about time a decision is taken on the matter.
You see, when you file your case, you believe in your case, you file it, you advance your argument so that at the end of it, there will be a verdict in your favor. We have filed our application, we have advanced a strong case argument that we know from the evidence, on the totality of the evidence, the prosecution has not established what we call a prima facie case to warrant a decision in their favor.
Alfred Agbesi Wa has meanwhile pleaded not guilty to the charges and is currently on a 20 million Ghana cedis bail.
The interim National Hajj Chairman, Abdul Rauf Tanko, says his committee has put in place all necessary measures to airlift this year's batch of over 5,000 Muslim pilgrims to Mecca without any problems. According to the chairman, owing to new policies agreed on at the just-ended Hajj conference in Saudi Arabia, the committee is working hard to ensure that problems that pilgrims encountered on previous trips would not occur.
At a press briefing organized at the Hajj village in Accra to outline preparations for 2014, Alhaji Tanko noted that the committee had paid in advance all the services the 5,422 prospective pilgrims will require in Saudi Arabia. This, he explained, is to ensure the utmost convenience and security.
Actually, we had some few challenges last year. And, you know, it is not easy to organize and airlift 5,000 people, over 5,000 people, go and accommodate them, transport them around the kingdom, especially when you have most of them, you know, who will have to be supported in terms of, you know, health and so on, to be able to go around and perform the pilgrimage. There are some who don't even know. You tell the person this is your room, the person will sit down. When you come to ask where is your room, the person is sitting down. So it is very intensive. You understand? So we have acquired a bit of experience last year, and based on that, we are going to improve on this year's performance.
Pilgrims are expected to pay $3,450 or each cedi equivalent of about 9,900. According to the committee, prospective pilgrims under the new arrangement will be provided accommodation, food and flights in and out of Saudi Arabia, among other services.
We have an aspect of feeding which is only for 3 days. We have also made payments for feeding of the people for only 3 days. The rest, people take care of themselves. Yeah, so for now, these are the arrangements we have made. And we will have to announce the package which we have done. It is no different from last year, except that the exchange rate, has made the figure to go up in terms of cedis.
The committee further warned prospective pilgrims not to engage the services of agents and channel all relevant issues through the Secretariat. Matilda Pamaga for Joynews, Accra.
While elsewhere, a 52-year-old farmer, Brima Mumuni, was on Thursday morning shot dead by unknown assailants at Bole in the Upper West region. The deceased was found with bullet wounds in his chest. Rafik Salams filed this report.
According to the assemblyman of Bole electoral area, Adam Suleiman, the victim, a 52-year-old farmer and indigene of Zingu in the Wa municipality, but domiciled at Chahiya in Wa East district because of his farming activities, was allegedly shot whilst returning to his home village. He had loads of farm produce on his tricycle.
From what we have seen from the background, you could see some sticks or some pieces of logs. These were the very stakes they used to block the road. When the victim got to the spot, he tried to escape, which he did. But unfortunately for him, the suspected armed robbers were armed, so they shot him. He managed to move about 300 meters before he fell. Then the armed robbers got there, ransacked his belongings. I think they were able to get something out of him.
The assemblyman says the incident has sparked some fear among members of the community.
We have fears, not only this route. Two incidents also occurred on the other routes, but we have 2 roads leading to these villages. One is you can pass through Bamahon, through PC, the Point route to the 3 markets, and this is another alternative. So over there too, some 3 months ago, armed robbers mounted an operation over there too. Unfortunately, we could not get any of them.
Personnel of the Ghana Police Service were led to the crime scene by the Regional Crime Officer, DSP Daniel Quintri. He told Joy News they are yet to commence investigations and will brief the media once they have some information. Members of the deceased who went to the scene to view the body broke down and wept uncontrollably. Rafik Salam's report from Bole in the Wa municipality of the Upper West region.
So that'll be it for the latest news highlights we have. A recap of our top stories.
Well, GASEM has confirmed the price of cement on the market would go down by between some 3 and 5% from Tuesday.
Officials of the police CID, they've confirmed officials of the Canadian oil firm Mura Petroleum Limited have been arrested over forging the signature of Ghana's Minister of Energy.
Well, that's it for the AM News. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Stay with us right here on the AM show.
Just stay on, right?